Hello, I hope you can see me, you can hear me well. We are starting a new life, about how to accept, the art of accepting, the things in our life that we don't like, the things that we reject, how to approach the difficult situations with the mindset of acceptance, how to be able to do this, okay? This is Pablo Tibas Leon, shaman, spiritual guide, and today I invite you to find within yourself which are these parts of you that you are suffering with, that you cannot still accept. It may be, for example, a person or a situation in your life that is behaving in the way that it triggers you, and this is happening like in a recurring way, like a habit or pattern in your life. Or maybe it is something in you, about your being, about your soul, about your behavior, your personality, about your physical body or your skills. Some area in your life that you are not able to accept as it is. And I invite you to bring this consciously to this live, to this seminar that we are going to do today, and connect it with what I'm going to share with you. Of course, I invite you not to believe anything of what I'm going to tell you, but just to be open in case something will awaken you, some inspiration, some realization. I'm not trying to teach or to bring new beliefs. I think we have too many beliefs in this world, and they are not really solving anything. I'm going to share my truth, and I have the intention that through this honest sharing, it may happen that somewhere in you it will awake your truth, and you will connect, you will see a little bit of your truth in a way that you couldn't see before. And like this is my intention, to awake your truth while I'm sharing mine. I hope the sound is good and you can hear me. If during the live you have any question, you can write it down in the comments. I have some questions because during the last week this was the topic that we were sharing in our community about acceptance. So I brought some questions from some participants, some active members from our community, and I will be addressing those questions in the end of the live. And if you feel in any moment that you want to ask anything, just ask, and I will answer your question. So, why to approach to this topic, acceptance? It is very big topic, and as you can see, it is everywhere in spirituality. The concept of acceptance, it is like trending, okay? It may happen that you have a problem in your life, a situation, like I said before, that is creating conflict, this is creating stress, and it will be very common to find a person, a friend, or maybe reading a book, and you will receive the answer, you should accept. And sometimes this is very frustrating because it is said in the way that it is easy. Like accepting is something that you could do only if you decide to do it, like a switch that you can activate internally. Like it is an abstract thing that you could do without effort. But this is actually one of the fake beliefs about acceptance that we are going to address today, okay? It is not an easy process, it's not something that we do without effort, it requires certain conditions. So my intention for today first is to go through all the fake ideas and fake beliefs about acceptance so we can break through. Sometimes we understand acceptance in the way that it becomes an obstacle in our life, and this may happen to you. During the life today, you may realize, oh my God, I had this understanding of acceptance that actually was creating conflict in my life. This happens when a concept became so trend, so spread all over the world, that now everyone is talking about acceptance. And the thing is that, you know, this game that you have to pass a message, and you tell a message to someone, this person will tell the same message to another person in the ear, and then like a chain, and in the end the message is totally distorted. It's not the same, the original message. So this is a little bit what is happening with acceptance today. There is a lot of people who are talking about acceptance, and some of them, they don't have the deep understanding of what spiritually this means. So that's why we are creating fake, wrong ideas about acceptance, that they are actually becoming an obstacle, becoming problems, creating conflicts and creating deviations in our path. So the first thing will be for this life to understand which are these very big wrong ideas about what acceptance is, so we can let them go, we can dissolve them from our mind, so we can start from the scratch to approaching the idea of acceptance from a new angle. Later we will go to what really acceptance is in the essence, and how we can identify it. And of course, the concept of acceptance is very general, how to accept, but the indicators are very clear and specific. When you accept, you have results, you have peace, you have clarity, there are certain indicators that are very clear, that you can see, that you can feel clearly, and that they will tell you that you are entering in the state of acceptance. And this you should know. It is very important to know these indicators. And finally, in the end, we are going to talk about which is the psychoenergetic state that will help you to enter in the state of acceptance. Well, this is the whole thing, actually. People will tell you in many traditions, and the spiritual traditions, in the yogi and the Hindu traditions, in the Tao, you need to accept. But truth is that you cannot accept. I mean, how to accept? How is a button, is a click, is a technique, is an energetic technique of your consciousness that you can do. What you can really do is to prepare your body and your mind, your emotional body and your psyche energetically in the way that you are more able to enter in the state of acceptance. You do this working with your energy in a certain way, bringing your energy to a certain level through practices and through certain things that I will be sharing with you in the end. By building the right psychoenergetic state, you will be able to enter in the state of acceptance. But without this state, even though if we have the understanding and we have the teachings, I need to accept, I have to accept, if our energy is not matching the level of the energy of acceptance, we are not going to be able to enter in this state. So in the end, I'm going to share with you how to enter specific grounded practices for you to enter in the state of acceptance, how to work with your body, how to work with your energy, with your emotions, to go there practically. No, that's a concept. So I hope you can hear. I don't see any comment, but I hope you can hear and the sound is good. And I'm going to continue. So, first we're going to start. I have here some writings that I prepare with the wrong ideas about acceptance. And the first wrong idea is this one. Acceptance means inaction, and this is a very big one. How many times you experience to tell someone, hey, maybe you need to accept a little bit what is happening, and the person would react, and would react like, what do you want, me to do nothing? What it means? Like, I need to accept, it means I will do nothing. This is because we connect very much the idea of acceptance with the our external behavior. This is the first wrong approach. Because accepting doesn't mean that you will stay doing nothing. This is very key point. Okay, where I'm going to talk a bit about this. Imagine, for example, a person who is fighting in the war, maybe, like shooting, trying to survive. I know this, some high qualified military Navy SEALs and so on, that they are special forces, that when they are in the battlefield, some of them, they have testimonials in which they say that even though they are in the most terrible situation, they don't feel fear. And they are all the time clear about what to do, where to go. They are aware of everything that is happening, and they are doing it, all this, without fear. Of course, they have a very, very, very intense training, very intense training. So we could say for this person, in this example, that this person is acting, but in the same time is acting without fear, is acting out of awareness, because he's very aware what is happening around. So he's acting, and at the same time is accepting the situation, but because of course the other answer when you are in a risky situation is to run away, to panic, to hide in a hole, in a corner, and this would be rejecting. This will be the rejection of the situation and trying to avoid it, to escape it. But of course these people, this army, these Navy SEALs, they are very high prepared, they cannot hide, they cannot escape, they cannot reject the situation, so they need to accept it fully, what is happening. They need to accept that they can die, they need to accept that there are bullets flying around, they need to accept that they need to run, they need to act, they need to protect themselves, maybe they need to heal themselves or heal others, help others. They are in a state of acceptance of the situation. You cannot reject this state and still be there and act properly. So I want to give you this example. I will give you another example of the person who is, for example, a boxer, a fighter, a professional fighter, and the person is receiving hits in a combat. These people, they are so trained and they had so many battles and so many fights in their lives that when they receive a hit, for them it is like nothing is happening. They are fully accepting the hit, the blow, the impact from the enemy. I remember when I went to the school when I was very kid, and I went to the school and I never had fights in my life, but I started to have some fights with guys there. I didn't have any experience before. I was losing all the fights, and very soon when any person was hitting me, I was immediately become full of fear, full of shame, full of emotions, contracted, and I would immediately become ashamed and hide or go. I could not enter in the experience. I could not accept it at all. It was a huge energy of rejection from me. When I was receiving a hit, it was awakening so many emotions. I could handle it. I couldn't accept to enter in a communication where there were hits, okay? And this may happen to majority of people, but the person who has a training on this, it will be a person who is able to accept this as a part of a communication, actually as a part of a training. Even the person, instead of getting angry or reacting or developing negative emotion, it may become even inspired. Oh, a new enemy. Oh, with new skills. Oh, this will make me stronger. I need to pay more attention. They are fully able to accept what is happening and to enter into it fully. While there are situations that requires action. They need to act. They are fighting. They need to move. They need to avoid the strikes. They need to hit. They need to. So, with these examples, I want to talk a bit about this idea that acceptance means inaction. It means that we need to do nothing at all. Okay. Now, it means that when you are in acceptance, you will be all the time acting. No, necessarily. There is this tradition, the yogi tradition, or the hermits, which are the people who they go to the nature, they live alone, and they have a spiritual path which is doing nothing. And for them, this is the whole spiritual path, and this doing nothing becomes a practice. It becomes a practice that they use to observe what is happening in them. to go deeper in the meditation. But this is a decision that they do consciously, that it is a specific way to go to the spiritual path. But it's not general. The problem is that we connected the idea of acceptance with this archetype of the yogi who does nothing, or the meditator who does nothing at all because he's living in a cave. And we see that like this person is the archetype of accepting. And accepting in our life becomes like this, like doing nothing and just observing our inner world. But in the modern world, this idea is not fitting at all, because we need to pay taxes, we have relationships, we have responsibilities, we have project businesses. There is no way that we can go to the cave and do nothing and be sitting there. So this idea, it is not matching in this world, and we need to learn that we can accept, and the acceptance can inspire action. This is very important to realize this. And acceptance can inspire inaction too. It can inspire contemplation. It may happen too, that when you enter in the state of acceptance, instead of acting, you will realize the best is in this moment to contemplate, to do nothing and contemplate your emotions, or contemplate the emotions of the other person or the environment. It can be both. So it is not connected. It is not 100% that acceptance means to do nothing. Okay? Why I'm telling you this is because there is the tendency, and I tell you this because I was there. When I started my spiritual path, I was approaching the idea to acceptance. Acceptance means doing nothing, and the mind, the ego is very tricky, and can use this idea as an excuse to avoid situations that they are not pleasant, or that the situation that they scare us. We are afraid of certain situations. For example, we can have the fear to go and to talk in public, yeah? But at the same time, we may have the desire to do it because there is something beautiful, unique from our being that we want to express, that we want to say. But since we are afraid of talking public, we can take this idea of, okay, I'm going to accept, I'm going to let go of this desire, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use the acceptance, and I will do nothing. And through this, I will grow spiritually. But this is a wrong approach spiritually, because this is not, you are not stopping your actions out of acceptance, it's out of fear, really. Of course, this no one can tell you, you need to see, you need to be honest. If you are taking the decision really from a state of peace and acceptance, or you are taking it from a place of fear to avoid something that is not pleasant. In my life, I was using this idea of acceptance in some situations that they were unpleasant. They were unpleasant for me, and I was using it to avoid them. And I was choosing doing nothing, and I was thinking, oh, this is very spiritual, because I will do nothing. I will detach from my desires, I will detach from what I want to say, from what I want to do. I prefer to choose acceptance, because it's more comfortable than facing the difficulties, the stress, the effort, and the challenges that I will have there. So, I tell you this to be aware of this, to remember this in your path, to remember this in your daily life, and to tell you that doing nothing is not acceptance. It is not connected. Okay? That it is possible to do nothing and to actually stay in rejection. And this is one of the things that you need to observe, that if you really, you are fully accept a situation, like fully, you need to be clean inside after the situation. Let's say you go to a party and you like very much this guy or this girl, beautiful, very well dressed, shining, creative. And then you feel, oh, I want to come to him, I want to come to her to talk, to ask something, to connect, you know. But you say, no, but look, I'm in the spiritual path, how to do this? Because you are afraid to actually, maybe you are rejected, maybe you will be rejected, maybe you approach some girl, some guy, will awake the fire, will awake the tension. You are a bit afraid of this, and you said, or you compromise. You say, whoa, I'm in the spiritual path. I'm going to the yogas in the weekends. I cannot do this. This is desire. This is not good. I am going to accept my life as it is, without partner, without romance, without this. And this is the real spiritual path, and this will elevate me. Well, you need to see if really you are doing this from total acceptance. After, when you go home, you need to feel in peace and sleep great, like a child. But if in you there is something that is resisting, that is remembering this person, that is a bit sad, a bit disappointed, that is not, you don't feel joyful after this, you don't feel free, you feel, fuck it, this spiritual path, it makes me live what I really want to do. And you have these contractions inside, this resistance, then it means you didn't do this out of acceptance fully, because you internally you don't feel free, you don't feel open in this moment, you don't feel joyful. You have internal resistance. You have internal stress. This is an indicator that your decision was not from acceptance 100%. So for this we need to be very honest, very, very honest, to remember that acceptance is not connected with our external behavior. It's not connected with acting or not acting. It's not 100% acting or not acting. It depends of the situation. That is connected with your inner state, with the inner state that you are while you act or not act. Acceptance is more about your inner state. For example, you can be, as I told you, in a very big fight, but if you are trained, very well trained in this fight, and you are fully in acceptance, you will be acting and you will feel free internally. You won't have fear. You will be just aware and acting out of creativity and out of awareness. Creative action, creative decisions. And it may happen that you have a conflict with someone, and the same, you enter in the state of acceptance and you realize the best is to say nothing and to contemplate and do nothing. And it can be the best solution in this moment. You should feel in peace in this moment. You say nothing, you stop the complaints or the discussions, and you need to feel internally in peace. So acceptance is more about the inner state that you go through while you are engaging with something, more than if you act or not act. Okay, we need to disconnect this idea that acceptance means to do nothing. Okay, I will hello. I will continue. If you have any question, you can leave it in the chat. So this is the first idea, that the acceptance, the first wrong idea, that the acceptance implies inaction. The second wrong belief about acceptance is this one. This one I remember very well. I was talking to a friend time ago when I was back in some years ago. I was working as an engineer, and I was talking to a friend, and I remember she was having a bad time. She was suffering. She was having some emotional turmoil in this time, and she was reacting very much because she didn't want to feel these things. And I remember I told her, look, sometimes bad emotions come to our life. There is nothing we can do. I mean, there is no perfect way to live that we avoid them. So we need to accept them. And then she answered me something that stayed with me all these years. She told me, but how I'm going to accept it? What do you want me to have these emotions all my life? So this is the second belief, that it says if we accept things will remain as they are. The second wrong belief, fake belief about acceptance, which is this one. If I accept something, myself, a situation, a conflict, a toxic person, a toxic environment, a conflict, if I accept, everything will remain the same. This is a fake idea. And of course, this idea is creating a lot of skepticism, because if you have a real problem and you think that accepting the problem means that the problem is going to be there all the time, all your life, it is very scary. I mean, how? If I have a problem and accept it, what means that if I have lack of money, I don't have enough money to do what I want to do, a trip or to buy something. If I accept it, what means that I'm going to be all my life without money to have this experience? Well, it doesn't mean this. Okay, acceptance is not this. Is not accepting that things they are going to be as they are. Okay, now it's not this at all. Acceptance means to create. Actually, it means the opposite. And I want to tell you this. Probably one of the most important things I want to share with you today is this one. Acceptance is totally the opposite. Acceptance is a way of transformation. It's a way of transformation. Acceptance is a way to relate fully, to create a relationship to what is happening in your being, with your emotions, with your sensations, with your body, with someone, with the situation. Acceptance is a bridge that allows you to feel, to enter fully in a situation, And by you entering, by you bringing your consciousness to a situation, with your consciousness, with your presence, the situation will start transforming, changing, with you being connected to it. For instance, imagine you have this happen in my life, and I'm sure this happened many times in your life too, in the life of many of you. I had in my life toxic people that they were not nice with me. They were not lovely. They were not saying good things. They were not saying, they were not talking from the heart. They were taking my energy. They were trying to put me down, for me to feel ashamed, for me to feel guilt. And then when I was in this lower state, to take my energy. This is kind of common in society. And for many years, I was not able, because I was very shy, I was not able to stand, to put boundaries, to these people who are taking advantage of me, of my energy, that they are taking my energy. What was happening, this not being able to address the situation, this not being able even to talk about the situation, even not talk to the person who is the toxic person who is hurting me, not even to talk to another people around, to express myself, not being able to address it at all with anyone, to be cutting this like it is not happening. Okay, this was the way, because I was afraid, I was unable to express myself, to address it, to accept it. Look, I have a problem in my life. There is a toxic person. This toxic person is creating unpleasant situations, and I want to address it. I want to talk to people. I want to talk to this person. I want to find a way. Okay, I was not able to address it, and what happened is what you can imagine, that this situation grew, became chronic in my life. It was for many years. It was happening all the time. Why? Because I was not able to address it. I was not able to create a relationship with the situation. I was avoiding, I was trying to reject it, because of course, if I have to face the situation, it won't be comfortable. It will create conflicts. It will break the status quo. It will break the tension. It will create a bit of conflict, negativity, problems. So I was avoiding this, and I was looking somewhere else. Like this is not happening in my life. But it was happening, but I couldn't accept it fully. That's why this situation became chronic and create problems in my life. Okay, so I know this is happening to many people. I give you my example, but I know this is happening to many of you. You come to the practices, you tell me, Pablo, how to overcome the negative influence from toxic people, from the toxic family around, how to do this. So this is what I wanted to tell you. When we don't accept and we don't address a situation, when we don't create a relationship with the situation stays as it is. So it is the opposite. Acceptance is the beginning of the transformation. Acceptance is the trigger of the transformation. Is the only way to create real change in our life is through the acceptance. Acceptance means to enter fully in a situation as it is and to feel it in all levels, energetically, emotionally, physically, in all levels, to feel and to others and to recognize what is happening fully. So this idea that acceptance will keep everything as it is totally false, among other things, because what I told you before, when you start accepting a situation, one of the things that will happen is that you will enter in the state of creative mind, and solutions will come. Yes, will come problems, a bit intensity, a bit uncomfort, but with all this, there will be openings, ideas. Oh, this person is not nice with me, but now I realize that if I tell him straight, looking at him in the eyes, how I feel, he gets it, and he withdraw, and he understands the boundaries. Or, oh, this person, I don't like it at all, I realize actually that the only thing that this is connecting me with him is just money. Maybe it's my boss who is not nice with me. And say, okay, if it is my boss and it's only about money and I don't care about anything else, maybe I can change the department, or I can change my job, or I can change the area where I work. So when we accept is when we start finding solutions, it's when the transformation happens. There is another magical way, which happened to me many times, is that when I have conflicts with people in my life, since I was working very deeply with meditation for many years, there was a moment I was able to work in the subtle world in meditations and to work with the acceptance in this level. Sometimes I didn't even need to talk to the person anymore. I was internally processing all the emotions and all the energy and fully embracing the situation and the conflict. The conflict was resolving inside myself, and then externally, magically, the person would change his attitude, would change his mind, and all the conflict would be resolved. It may happen like this too, that you don't act externally, but by accepting internally everything that is happening and fully merging your consciousness with all the edges of this situation, the situation will change. So I want to tell you this, don't worry that if you enter in the state of acceptance, the things, they will remain the same. Not at all. Of course, there are no sudden changes. I mean, you cannot change everything for overnight. There are things that they need some days, some weeks. There will be some rearrangements. But the transformation starts in this very moment that you start accepting. Is the way to transform the reality. It actually is a transmutation process. It's a healing process. Okay? All good? Very good. So we saw these two ideas, okay? They are very important and they are connected actually. That acceptance doesn't mean inaction, doesn't mean action, it is more about your inner state. And the acceptance is the trigger, the catalyst of the transformation. So it's not a way to keep things as they are, okay? Things are not going to remain. So the third idea that is connected with these two, for me is the most important, is to understand that in any way and under any circumstance, acceptance is resignation. It's not the same. And this we need to be very aware and very awake to catch this. The acceptance is not living a sense of frustration, a sense of lack, a sense of something is missing in us, a real acceptance, okay? As I was telling you before, the acceptance that we use to cover our fear to act or our fear to express ourselves freely in life, to do what we want to do freely, and we compromise our truth, what we want to do, to approach the beautiful girl, to approach the beautiful guy, to start the ambitious project, and we say, no, I don't want this too much, I'm going to accept my life as it is, but inside you feel, whatever, I wanted to do this, but this is not real acceptance. Acceptance is not resignation. It's not accepting things in the way that you don't like. Doesn't mean this. It's not creating this sense of pain inside, this sense of sadness. Which is a good news, which is a very, very good news, because it means that acceptance actually is a path to joy, to be joyful, to be awake, to be positive. Very good. Let's move forward in this direction. So yes, sometimes the acceptance will inspire you action, will inspire you to move in one direction. Some other times will inspire you contemplation, observing, feeling what is happening. In both cases, you need to see that internally you are not connecting with a low experience of resignation. This is not. You need to be actually inspired, positive, awaked. When we see the monks and the yogis and those guys who are in the cave and they are alone and they are meditating 10 or 20 hours a day, we have this perception, oh my God, this is very boring, this, no? Very, what to do? All the things that these guys, they had to live nice food, a relationship, sex, trips, beauty, nature. They had to live all this. Truth is, these guys are actually in ecstasy inside. They go in such a deep state of acceptance that they can merge with everything around. They enter in the state of unity, and they are not like they're sacrificing, I need to be here in meditation, whatever, what to do, 15 years, my master told me, I need to be here 16 years, 15 years, sitting in this stone to be enlightened. What to do? This energy is not the real energy for the spiritual path, and this archetype is creating a lot of confusion. In the spiritual path, the energy is enthusiasm, joy, inspiration. This should move. And if we arrive to this point in our life, in which we say, oh, I would like to do this and this and this, but look at me, I'm a spiritual person, I cannot do this. But this is not bringing you to a state of more joy. Then you need to change something. You need to change some element there, because you should not accept you should not take resignation like acceptance. It's not the same. Okay, if there is this sadness, something is missing. It means probably there is something that we need to accept. Maybe we need to accept that we have very strong desire to do something. Maybe we need to do it, or maybe we don't have to do it, but maybe we need to accept it, to start addressing this desire. Yes, I would like, let's say, I would like to travel all around the world. I would like to have many boyfriends or many girlfriends, and I would really like to do all this. But the idea of I should not, because I'm a spiritual, because this is not okay, because this is not polite, because it is not allowing me to enter in this space of why I want so many boyfriends, why I want so many girlfriends, why I want to travel, what I'm missing. I'm missing what? Beauty, I'm missing freedom, I am missing, in this acceptance of what we want, we start experiencing another part of ourselves, and then we need to start changing things. Okay, so this resignation, we should not call it acceptance. It's not this. Usually, tell you the truth, in the state of resignation, we enter out of fear. The resignation we enter when there are things that we want to do, that we want to say, that we want to express, that we want to take out, but there are some inner programs, beliefs, social conditioning or family conditioning that stay with us in our mind and creates a blockage of judgment, and we cannot say them, and or we cannot act. For example, imagine I have a lot of desire to do things and to travel and to make projects, but I have the conditioning to be lazy. In my mind, I learned to be lazy, not to put effort, not to overcome the gravity of my body. And then out of this weakness, I cannot go out in the world and talk to people and do what I want to do and try what I want to try. And then resignation comes. Then we enter in the state. This is because some weakness that we have in our soul, some weakness that is some conditioning, it's a blockage for something that we want to do in life, that we want to express, that we want to take out. This is the reason why we are entering in resignation, which is part of this life too. It's not like bad, because we go there eventually, because we are in the world where almost no one is doing what they really want authentically. And sooner or later we find this resignation in us. It's like, I need to work in this office, I need to be in this city, I need to be this persona, this personality, I need to laugh these stupid jokes of my parents-in-law or my neighbors, or and this resignation become a monster in our society, because very few people dares to try to do what they want, to try at least, to try. So remember that this resignation is not acceptance, and it's not the spiritual part. This resignation actually is the sign that there is something which wants to go out and is not going out for some fear in us. And it's a call, wake-up call, that something is happening, to observe ourselves better. Okay? Very good, very good. So let's make a summary about what is not acceptance. Acceptance is not inaction. Acceptance is not leaving things as they are forever. It doesn't imply that things will stay as they are forever. And acceptance is not resignation. It's not this. Okay. So what is acceptance? Acceptance, as I said in the beginning, is more connected with the inner state that you are when you are facing a situation, when you are going through a situation. It's an inner state of relationship. Acceptance is a very big, we could say it's a synonym with relationship, creating a relationship with an environment, a situation, a person, an emotion. You can create a relationship with your emotion. You can create a relationship with your body, with your sensations. You can create a relationship with an organ, with a muscle, observing it, feeling it. You can create a relationship with everything. Okay? So acceptance is opening this bridge and entering in a situation fully. And it's an inner state. That is not about doing or not doing, it's about you are. If you are open for the situation and you are welcoming all the information that the situation brings to you. The situation may bring you emotions, may bring you sensations, may bring you conflict, may bring you many things. Every situation will bring you. You may be in the mountain running, and you are running in the mountain, you feel in the fresh air, you get tired, you cannot even breathe too much, and you are finishing, you after 5 kilometers, and you have a bunch set of sensations, experiences, and emotions. So being open for all this and doing it is creating a relationship with all this, is accepting. And then you accept the full package of going to run in the mountain, and for you is something that you accept in your life. You can use it because you accept it. The inner state of openness that creates a relationship with a situation. This is the acceptance. And the acceptance has, because this is a bit abstract, I will give you 2 very clear indicators for you to understand when you are in the state of acceptance. In the state of acceptance, we are in peace. We are in peace with what is happening. But in peace doesn't mean we are like this, I'm in peace. No, we are internally in peace, relaxed, ourselves, and we are in the state of creative inspiration. So creative ideas and creative actions, they come out naturally from us. This is the spontaneous creative acting when you fully accept the situation. The kids are in this state all the time. They are accepting fully everything that is happening. That's why they are so open. that everything is going through them. The pain, the crying, the sadness, the emotion, the joy, and you see them, they are like a perfect channel of what is happening around. It is very beautiful. It's very beautiful. So this acceptance brings you to a state of creative mind where you learn, you can get inspiration and intuition about what to do. So it takes you to act. Acceptance, it takes you to act and to transform. It's very important to remember this. Okay, so this is what acceptance is, and what are the indicators of it. If you have any question, guys, or something you want to share, you can put it in the chat. We will answer it. Like this, we are moving slowly from what is not acceptance to what is. And now we are going to go a bit beyond, because I would like to clarify how to use acceptance in the spiritual path, which is probably this is the most important part to understand, how to use the acceptance. Because we want to use it, yes, there are things we want to accept, there is resistance and fear that we want to overcome, pain that we want to overcome. So how to do it, how to use this acceptance? We need to understand that in this world, the acceptance makes sense only when there is rejection. And then we need to approach to this concept because they are always together. Acceptance is always connected with rejection. If there were a world without rejection, if you were in the state of being in which there is no rejection in your being, you wouldn't need acceptance. Acceptance is the medicine of the rejection. Is the medicine of the rejection, the opposite. The rejection is cutting relationship, is isolation. It is creating distance between us and a situation of a person or emotion. And is the rejection what keep everything stuck in our life. If there are, and sometimes it happens that people come and they say to me, Pablo, I'm stuck in this area of my life. I don't know what happened, but I've been 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and I'm still with the same ideas, with the same loop, with the same cycle, but with the same problem. When there is a stagnation in some level in our life, it means there is a strong source of rejection that we cannot see, that we need to address it. We need to observe it, we need to take it out, and then bring acceptance to this. The journey to bring acceptance to our life is the same journey that bringing rejection out from our unconscious mind. I will repeat this. The journey of the acceptance, to bring acceptance to our life, is the same journey that bringing out the things that we reject to the surface of our mind. For many years, not many years, but many months, when I started my spiritual path, I was reading books about acceptance. I was living in this house. This is my family house. I'm now in Spain, having some days here. I was in this house. I had everything, very nice place. I had my parents were taking care of me. I had a job. I have very comfortable life. I was very young, 26, 27 years old. I was healthy, I was strong, I have friends. My life was very nice externally. I didn't have any problem. And then I started to read about the spirituality. I was attracted to this, and I was reading about acceptance, and I was saying, oh, acceptance, and to accept everything that is happening with joy and with good heart. I said, oh, wow, I have a lot of this. I am accepting everything that is happening. I'm accepting my life. I'm not fighting. I'm not arguing with anyone. I don't have conflicts. I don't have problems. I have a lot of acceptance. But of course, in this situation, everything was good. Nothing was. After some months, my real process started. My Kundalini energy awaked. And then this energy was taking out the real thing. All the things that I was rejecting from my life, from my emotion, all the crap, the rejection, the hatred, the dirty emotion, dirty sensations, all the pain of my soul was going out. And then I wanted to run and hide. Of course, I couldn't run and hide. Where to run? It was coming from inside. But then I realized, wait, I cannot accept this. I didn't even realize. I mean, I was so much in stress and pain and in avoiding behavior that I was not even realizing. I realized this years later that this was the real moment when this rejection, this pain came out to the surface, when the real acceptance, not the acceptance in my mind, the real acceptance started to happen. And it was a process. It was slow. It took years to settle down, to be embracing every little part, every little edge and corner from all this pain. It was slowly taking place, this process. So why I'm telling you this is because if you ask me what is the meaning of the spiritual path is the one that is helping you to confront your fears and your limitations. Some years later, after this process I had, I entered in the energy of the yogi, and I was meditating for many hours a day. I was having a job, and I was basically keeping very low energy level, going very deep in meditation. I was very joyful, very happy. I integrated all my pain. I was in a really, really beautiful state, really, really balanced. It was the very, very beautiful highest state of energy. And I thought I was very close to my destiny. I was very close to God. I was very close to enlightenment. I really thought about this. Then I met my master, my spiritual master, my shaman master, and he told me, well, Pablo, now here you have a drum, and you have here your shamanic uniform. Now you will go and you will make a community, you will be a shaman. You will make a community, a project, a business. You will be God, offering gatherings, rituals, healing people. You will be creating retreats, and this will be your path. And I didn't want this. The other day was a guy asking me, in which moment you realized you wanted to be a shaman, Pablo? I said, I didn't realize, I didn't want to be a shaman at all. I wanted to stay at home meditating. I was happy like this. Of course, thanks God, I followed the advice of my master. I followed him. He's doing the same. And I realized after some time why I had to do this is because this path was helping me to take all the things that I was rejecting. I was rejecting the money. I was rejecting the energy of money. I was rejecting being here talking to people publicly. I was rejecting managing marketing. I didn't want this. Oh my God, marketing, to talk to people, to tell them. I was rejecting selling, the selling energy. I don't want sell, I don't want money, I don't want, this is dirty, this is not good, this is not spiritual. I was rejecting to wake up in the morning early and making exercises and rising my vital energy, which I need if I'm doing something big and I'm creating a business. I need to be very active. Well, I was rejecting 100 things, guys, but I couldn't realize they were hidden in the shade. They were hidden in the shade. So, what I wanted to tell you with this is that the path of acceptance is the same path of bringing out what we reject from life. We cannot accept if we don't dare to go for what we want in life, which is actually the path to face all our demons, to go for something big. Now you can see around how many people they compromise for small things, surviving, having a family only, which is not bad, but it's not like a super big thing. Like, I don't know if it for you is a big thing, but generally we want to do something very ambitious, big, something that really awake, that make us face some challenges. For example, if creating a family, it brings a lot of challenges, real challenges, existential challenges, and brings the fear from you. It may happen too, actually. And actually, you can do it through the family too, because sometimes the family, it brings a lot of fear to what is going to happen to the kids, or the kids are awakening a lot of existential fears, reactions, rejections. You can do it there too. you can do it there. But even though if you have a family, you can isolate yourself, separate from these situations, and keep yourself in the mind, keep yourself watching movies or playing video games or in mental sphere, and to avoid the real connection and the real challenge of life and the real experience, keeping a low profile energy life, which is not connecting us with our rejections. Okay, we call this happiness. And this is what is the definition of happiness in this society, is that you have so much comfort and easiness in your life that you don't awake your demons. Of course, the society doesn't call it like this. They call it you have abundance and richness and fame and all this. Truth is, this real definition is you have so much comfort and ease externally, and everything looks so much as you want it in your mind that you are not connecting with all the things that you are rejecting existentially. You are not awakening your fears. In this way, we cannot accept. Okay? Anyhow, if you are here, I suppose it's because you want to start walking your life and to bring this acceptance, to walk the spiritual path, to heal yourself, to connect with your soul, to go to God, to go to the universe. So for this, we need acceptance, and for the acceptance, we need to find a way of living, which is a spiritual path, which is a path that is awakening our rejections, what we reject from life. And I tell you this for you to realize, because some people, when they start in the spiritual path and they start facing these rejections, they think, oh my God, something is wrong. I came here to be in peace. I came here to be in harmony, in unity, and now I'm feeling terrible. I'm feeling all the things that I'm feeling weak, I'm feeling sick, I feel myself lost, all the things that I hate the most. Well, the spiritual path gradually will awake what you reject, and will show it to you for you to confront it. Not for you to suffer or to get lost, but gradually to confront it and to integrate it. So the acceptance can be used only when the rejection is in front of us, and when we are actually open for this, to observe our rejection, to approach what we reject in life. Maybe we reject some part of our physical body, or we reject the way we talk, our voice, or how we walk, or we reject maybe to feel weak, to feel ourselves weak, or we reject to feel ourselves lost, or poor, or failing. Whatever it is, it should appear in our path so we can apply acceptance. Okay? If there is no rejection, there is no acceptance. No, there is no sense to use it. We need to be able to open ourselves to accept what we reject, to experience it, and through this, the acceptance will heal it, will integrate all this. So this is an invitation for you to be brave. This is an invitation for you to own your life, to own your power, and to remind you that sometimes there will come things that maybe you won't like, but there is a way. For example, in our rituals or in our setups, we see it, and sometimes people, they have difficult experiences, but they are difficult experiences in a very nice setup, where you are not judged, where you are safe, where you are guided, where you are supported by the energy, where you are with people who are in the same journey. So in the spiritual path, you have tools. We have tools that help us to go through this process of integration and collapse, bring the acceptance to the rejection, and then dissolve this rejection and create more space and more energy in our consciousness. So welcome the rejection in your life, because it's part of the acceptance. It's part of the process to bring acceptance to your life, is to uncover the rejection. It's not like bringing the rejection from somewhere else. It's like, yeah, give me rejection, guys. I want rejection. Give it to me. Give it to me. No, this rejection is not coming from somewhere else. It's coming from our past, from our traumas, from our memories, what we couldn't integrate in the past. It's there with us. We cannot escape it. We cannot build a life in which we are going to escape. It will come sooner or later. So, or we go consciously, we create a lifestyle that is triggering what we are afraid of, and we are confronting, and then we are applying the laws of the acceptance, or all the things that we don't accept, they will jump into our life in one moment in the future all at once, and then it will be messy. There will be no enough energy and spiritual understanding in us to be able to accept it. And then this is when the big crisis and sickness and problems and karmic situation happen, is when we are keeping a life that is very under control, secure, stable, low. So I'm not awakening my demons, but my demons are my demons, they are with me, and sooner or later they will go out. So it's better they go out gradually, in an organic way, in a lifestyle that awakes them, and in the same time you have your practice, your community, where you can go, you can meditate, you can share, you have your spiritual guides, your healers, your shamans, and these demons are slowly going from you. This is the best way. Very good, very beautiful. So this is the acceptance path, which is connected with the rejection. They go side by side, and we need to take it. There is no other way. Very good. I hope everything is okay. There are no questions, so I will continue. So now, more specifically, we will go to see. I will take a bit of water. So let's see that we understand that the acceptance is an inner state, an inner approach. It's not external. We understand that to have acceptance, we need to be open and to find what we are rejecting, to observe it. What are the elements, the personalities, the sensations that we are rejecting? Let's say we find it. Let's say I realize that I'm rejecting to feel weak myself. I reject it, I hate it, I cannot take it. I hate it with all my soul. And I would like, so every time that someone makes fun of me and makes me feel weak, I react and I get angry. I would like to accept this. I would like to bring acceptance to this. How can I do it? We are going to see specific actions and preparation you can do to enter in the state of acceptance. This state of acceptance is an energetic state that has certain qualities. The first quality is that your vital energy has to be high, okay, elevated. Your vitality, I can tell you this, for example, with the map of the chakras. In the chakras, the heart, which is the place where acceptance happens, which is a feminine chakra, acceptance, is here, the chakra of the heart, and is over the vital body chakra, the Manipura chakra. So for the energy to go to the heart, it has to go through the Manipura. Manipura is the center of our vital energy, our fire, our confidence, our vitality, our capacity to act, to feel confident, our capacity to be resilient, to hold the intensity. All this is Manipura. If the Manipura is weak, our energy is low. It's like in the second chakra, is that we are a bit attached to comfort and to pleasures, or is not even in the second, it's in the first chakra, and we are just acting mechanically in life, like very mechanically, like just doing things without knowing why, just because it's the right way to do or the right moment to do it. Then it's not possible for us to open the heart. Imagine you spend, I don't know, the whole weekend watching movies and eating pizza in the couch, and on Sunday, of course, you won't feel good. You will feel heavy, slow, sad, because all the energy will be between the second and the first chakra. There will be no vitality. In this energetic state, if you can observe this, when you are in this energetic state very low, that you have been watching movies for a very long time and eating very heavy things, anything would trigger you. Anything that will take you will give you a bit of intensity. Maybe your kids are shouting, or someone is calling you with a problem. Hey, I have a problem, can you come please? I need your help, I am 20 minutes from your house and you need to go now. I don't want to go, come on, whatever. Anything is triggering you because you are in a very low state of energy. This is the indicator that you are actually opposite, in the opposite position from the state of acceptance. To enter in the state of acceptance, we need to have high energy, high vitality. How to develop high vitality is with physical effort, for example. What we are doing, that if you came to some of our practices, you know that before our meditations and before our rituals, we always prepare the body. How? So with some practices, with some movements, with breathings, or we make a hike. For example, we make a pilgrimage before of rituals in the nature. Sometimes we make a hike, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. One very good example is what we do in Peru. In Peru, once a year we go and we do ayahuasca ceremony in the jungle. This ayahuasca, it's a sacred plant that will take you to a very strong inner journey, very strong. There will be many conflicts and things that you are rejecting, that they will go out to the surface during the ceremony. There is no way you will avoid it. You will confront yourself, your fear, your contractions, your tensions, your traumas. They go out. Some people cry, some people suffer, which is part of the journey. What we do to prepare ourselves to be able to enter in this ceremony, very strong ceremony, with the capacity to accept, because there we need to accept that we cannot run away from there. So before the ceremony, before they go into the jungle, we spend 2 weeks doing pilgrimages in the Andes, in the holy mountains. 2 weeks. We make pilgrimages of over 3,000 meters, or sometimes 4,000 meters. And we do pilgrimages sometimes 12 hours in one day. It was very strong, very, very strong for the body. We go to sacred cities and there we rest, we have some rituals, we have some things, and we are like this 2 weeks non-stop. Non-stop. We are doing, of course, we have time to rest. It's not like to destroy ourselves, but 2 weeks in the high altitude doing hikes, put our vital energy. We finish this practice like in fire. We are in fire in this moment. We are very strong, very connected, very awake. A bit tired externally, but our body is super awake. When we enter in the ceremony of ayahuasca, we are super powerful. We are very present, and we are more able to enter in the state of acceptance because we have this vitality. We are doing this all the time, in all levels. Every time we have a meditation session or a ritual, before we rise the fire, we rise the vitality. How you can do this if you specifically are in your life and you have a problem and you are not finding the energy of acceptance to integrate the problem, to find solutions? You can rise your energy, going to run, taking a cold shower, making some workout at home, whatever you like, but you awake your energy, you end up a bit tired. This will take you closer to the state of acceptance. This will help you a lot. It will give you energy that you need to enter there. It's impossible to, if you are tired, to confront pain and rejection and to integrate it. If when we are tired, emotionally tired, energetically tired, and we confront the rejection, what we do usually is to avoid, to dissociate ourselves and to go somewhere else. We are not able to confront it. We just bounce. We go a bit closer and bounce back. And the integration, the acceptance is not happening. So the first element to cultivate the state of acceptance in you is to grow your vitality, your vital energy. And the second one I'm going to give you, and this is the key, guys, this is the real work when we want to accept something in our life, is to take full responsibility for what is happening. Of course, we cannot take responsibility for what happens externally in our life because we don't do things. Some other people, we don't do everything. There are other people doing things that they do because they want, in the way they want, and there are big powers, social powers, astrological powers here, that of course we don't control the external world. We cannot take responsibility for what happens, but we can take responsibility for what we experience when we see what happens, for our inner experience. This is our responsibility. There are some habits, they are 100% opposite to the state of acceptance. And when we fall into those habits, immediately we go out from the state of acceptance and we just roll over the rejection and get stuck. These habits are connected with not taking the responsibility for what is happening. For example, if someone has an accident and hit my car, of course, the responsibility, the external responsibility is of this guy who had the accident. He has to pay, or his insurance has to pay. Of course, it's not like I'm going to go to the courts or to the police and I will say, no, I want to accept, I'm in the spiritual path, this is on me, this is on me. Leave this poor man who had an accident, this is on me. Okay, no, this is madness. Of course, the external responsibility is on this man who got distracted and hit my car. So he will have to pay, or his insurance. But your inner experience, what you experience when you see your car that's broken, you experience what you, anger, rejection, reaction, frustration, resignation, weakness. You may experience many things there. Every person will experience something different because our experiences, they are connected with our background. So you can take responsibility, you should take responsibility for this, not for what is happening or not happening externally, but for how you are responding to it, what are your feelings, what is your experience when you connect with this external situation. This is the responsibility, what means responsibility for what is happening in you. What happens is that when we enter in the state of rejection, when we start feeling, observing something that we are rejecting, it's not pleasant, because rejection is connected with the things that we don't like, the sensations that we don't like, that they are unpleasant, that they are not comfortable. So we start blaming others, or even blaming ourselves, which is not taking responsibility. Blaming ourselves is attacking ourselves, but it's not taking responsibility for what is happening. It's just taking revenge against ourselves. Or we start criticizing others, which is similar. We start gossiping. Well, what the guy, look at this guy who was here and got distracted and hit my car. What he was thinking? He was drinking. What he was doing? This critics, this gossiping. Or it will come the complaints. Oh my God, I just finished to pay the bank credit for the car. Oh my God, and now again another problem. What is happening with me? The universe hates me. I had bad luck. And we enter in the field of complaints, which is in this group of not taking responsibility. Okay, complaints means we identify 100% with the victim. We identify with the victim and we state that we don't deserve this is not fair, what is happening, but it's a mistake of the universe, of the world, of a mistake of someone, and we are a victim. We are just a poor person who was there accidentally in the middle, we don't have any power, we don't have any responsibility on it, we just are a nice guy, a nice girl who had nothing to do with this. But like this, we lose all our power immediately. In the moment we identify with the victim, we lose immediately all the power, and in this moment, what to do? We are not able to take responsibility, we are not able to accept. It's impossible. When we are in the energy of the victim, we cannot accept. It's just simply impossible. And as a consequence, when we blame or criticize or we complain, we may end up attacking others, attacking in the back, with gossiping, with bad energy, or in the front, telling bad words, anyhow sending bad energy to people because you consider that they are the reason of your problem. And the energy, instead of going to inside yourself to observe your reaction, to take responsibility for your experience, all your energy start going to the other person. To tell you the truth, you are sending, this is very funny, when you attack someone that you consider your enemy, you are actually giving him or her your energy. If the person, if this happened to me, I know how to work with the energy, of course, I'm a shaman, I know how to transform the energy. During my last year, sometimes people got angry at me, and they started to send me energy of complaints, of like bad energy, black energy, like complaints, bad thoughts, cursing, like what the fuck this guy is doing, what he's saying, he doesn't know anything, like this. He started to think about me in a negative way. And then I was observing how they were thinking, they were having me in their thoughts, and they were sending me their energy. I would say, oh my God, free energy, wonderful. Of course, I know how to transform the energy of hate and rejection into vital energy, and I was starting to forgive all this energy and to integrate it and to realize, man, this person is losing his energy, sending it to me. And I was feeling more energized with this, and I said, why? It is very, then I realized what is happening when we lose ourselves in critics and complaint and blaming others. We are giving away our energy 100%. Of course, if the other person is not aware, doesn't know how to work with the energy and receive energy of hate, the other person may react. This is what is usually happening, and send back his energy. And then there is a cross conflict of energy where both of them, they are draining. You have this experience that after half an hour shouting with someone and discussing and fighting with someone, you run out of energy 100%. This is because you gave all the energy, you throw all the energy to the other person, and the other person threw all his energy on you, and you both finish tired with no energy. The energy get lost in the field. So this is what is happening when we don't take responsibility, okay? So to be able to accept in our life, we need to have high level of energy, and we need to take full responsibility for our experience. There is no way. Here the indicators are clear. When you are blaming, when you are gossiping, criticizing others, and you are attacking others because of a problem you have, it means you lost the connection with your responsibility, and in this state there is no way you can accept. So my invitation for you is to ask yourself, if there is something you want to accept in your life but you cannot, ask yourself the question, am I taking full responsibility for this, or am I still blaming someone or something for what I'm going through? And observe it. If you find that you are blaming something or someone, you need to realize there, say why you are blaming this, that in some moment you need to redirect this energy of guilt and blame to yourself to observe better what is happening in you. You need to use this energy in you instead of taking it outside of you. So these are the two very big, clear, grounded practices that you can do to come closer to the state of acceptance, to rise your vitality all the time, and to analyze very well and to be very aware and awake that you don't lose the responsibility and you don't enter in the state of blaming, or you don't enter in the state of the victim. And if you enter there, the best is that you come back to rise your vitality more. This is the best. If you see yourself you are falling in the loop of being a victim, come back, because you need more fire. Because when you have fire in your system, you cannot feel like a victim. If you are 2 hours in the gym hitting the boxing training zone, you come back home, you cannot feel like a victim. At least for a while, you will be full of fire. So if you see that you are falling into the victim, you need to rise even more your fire. So I wanted to give you these two things, but more two very good tools that will help you to enter in the state of acceptance. These are more tools, external tools, but they are very, very useful. The first one is the environment, and this is very important to remember that we live in a world in which 90% of people, they are not taking responsibility for their life. They are in this habits, blaming, criticizing, attacking others. Like all some of us, not specifically us, but some people, they spend their whole life in these habits, like the whole life and the whole energy in this. So when you are surrounded by people that they are vibrating in this level of energy, your tendency will be to be like them. You will have more tendency to be like them. So if you want to enter, you want to take full responsibility and ownership for your life, one very simple, easy thing you can do direct is to create an environment where people is working with themselves, taking responsibility for their lives. People that they are doing this job, this work that we are doing, taking responsibility, rising the vitality, and sitting in safe space to go inside, to process, to heal, and to accept. People, when you are around in a circle where there are 5, 10, 15 people that they are in the energy of accepting, open for this, and they want this, you will be way more able to go deep in yourself and to accept. And this is actually what we are doing in Inner Spark, you know. We create this space, basically. This is what we are offering. This is the value we are offering, is a space where you are safe, where you are not judged, where you can share freely, where we respect very much your power. We don't try to take, to heal you or to tell you what to do or what to believe or something like this, because we want you to be responsible. We respect very much your power like this, and we give you the space and the environment so you can recover this power and you can accept what you can recover this power. You can have the space and the time to allow this, what you reject, to go to the surface, and then you to have the responsibility, to take the responsibility and to heal it. This magic is happening very much in every gathering that we are doing, in every meditation, in every ritual that we are doing, in every retreat. Is happening all the time. This is what we are offering. The essence of what we are offering is this possibility, which is 100% the opposite what this society, the general people is doing. The generally people, they fall very often into the victim mode when something happens that they don't like. Okay, we create an antidote for this. Of course, this not only us create this, there is a lot of people, good souls, that they are creating similar spaces. So for me, I would like to invite you to remember this, that find the environment, your tribe, your people, where you feel good, you feel safe, you feel that you can relax, that you can connect with your shape, that you receive the power and the support, so you can go through it. The environment counts a lot. So find your tribe and find your environment. This is going to help you a lot. In these gatherings, we do sacred approach, we pray, we open to the spirit, we remember that not everything is in our hands, not everything, we control everything. This relax our heart, open our heart, help us to surrender, and we create the perfect environment for this blessing miracle of the acceptance to happen. It will be way easier if you are around this environment. I know maybe you are watching this from your house and you are sensitive and you were hurt in the past. It is possible, and you want to take care how you approach spirituality, how you approach these practices, because you are afraid that you may awake something heavy, difficult to process. I understand this, but I want to invite you to, if you have the calling, to make the step and to join, because there are things that we need this support, we need this community, we need this gathering, this tribe, this being all together, and there in this environment, the magic, the miracle, the real healing, acceptance, it may happen. I invite you to be brave and to try. We have many events, meditations, or small gatherings. They are not like very big things of one day. You can try 1 hour, 2 hours, slowly become more confident, and this will help you a lot. Actually, will help you a lot. We understand very well that we are sensitive beings, that we were hurt, all of us, in this world when we came. So you will have all this understanding and all our love, and you will reconnect with your power there, which is big, which is a big power. Okay, very good, very good, very good. We are finishing. I see there are no questions, so I'm going to share with you 3 questions that I was sharing with my community these days, and I wanted to give an answer to them. The first one is, how can I change my mindset in front of my mother, who behave unconsciously and in a toxic way towards me? Very good. So here, when there is a person in our life that is toxic with us, and the situation is kind of static, I mean stuck. Say, okay, this is happening all the time. I'm trying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years to change this situation, but I cannot, and it's repeating. This person treats me bad, I feel bad, but I don't act, or I act this way, I act that way, and I come back to the starting point, and it happens again and again and again. So when we have this kind of relationship, toxic relationship in our life, and is stuck, we need to understand that there is something. We need to put more consciousness in what is connecting us, what is the connection in this toxic relationship. Because there is a connector. If there is a relationship, there is a connector. There is a reason why we connect. There is something, if I have a connection with a toxic person, is because in some level I am receiving something from this, from having this. Maybe I have a, let's say, a toxic boss, and I'm there because I'm receiving money. It's my work, I need a salary. So I'm receiving something, and in exchange I need to be with this guy who is toxic, let's say. So in every toxic relationship, we are getting something. Actually, in any relationship. Usually in the toxic relationship, we are receiving something or getting something or keeping something that we are afraid to lose. We are afraid to lose something there, or we are afraid to confront something. Maybe I'm keeping there this toxic relationship with my boss because I'm afraid to stay without job. Because to change my job, I will have to stay without job for a while, and I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid to go interviews, to find a new job, to develop new skills. I'm afraid of this, and this fear is keeping me there, for example. So if you have a toxic relationship with your mother, and she is toxic, but you meet her, the question is why you meet her. If it's a toxic person who brings only bad things to your life, then the natural question is, okay, but then why I have connection with her? Why? It is not judgmental question, it's actually from curiosity. Why I have this connection? Why I go to see her? Why I meet her? Something I'm getting from this. I suppose if you have problems with her, is because you are engaging with her. So why you are engaging? I'm not saying you should not engage. I'm saying you should clarify what you are receiving from this exchange. And probably there is something there that you need to let go. You are receiving maybe, I don't know, you are keeping peace, you are keeping the status quo in the family, you are avoiding conflict, you are avoiding confronting her, you are avoiding the guilt to feel yourself bad if you hurt her somehow. So the question is why you go there, to clarify what you are getting from there, or what you are avoiding to feel if you would not go there and you would not engage with her. What would happen, to understand better which is the connection point of this relationship, which is accepting the relationship, because sometimes we create toxic relationships for us to keep some things that they are not very nice to see. For example, I may keep a toxic relationship with a boss because I'm afraid, because I'm a bit coward to go out and to find a job. It is the truth, I'm afraid. But this true, I'm afraid, is not a pleasant truth. It's not pleasant. It's not something I want to see. I don't want to recognize I'm afraid. So what I do, I blame him all the time. This guy is all the time pushing me, hitting me, making fun of me. But the thing is, with this blaming, I'm actually trying to avoid to observe the truth, which is, wow, I'm scared. I'm scared of being without job for 2-3 months or 2-3 weeks. I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death that I will collapse, that I'm not going to manage this situation. So usually what happens in the toxic relationships that they are stuck in our life is there is something that we are afraid to see, to experience. And this we don't want to see. I invite you to make this self-honest analysis with yourself, to see what you are getting from this relationship and what you are afraid to lose if you speak your truth there and you say, look, I'm not happy here, I don't like you, I don't like the way you treat me, and to take action. Maybe the taking action can be talking, or can be withdrawing at a point, or putting limits, or put some boundaries. So you need to see, if you are not taking action like this, you need to see, maybe I'm not taking action because I'm afraid of what may happen. Then to observe this fear, to observe what you are afraid to lose, what you are afraid to create. This is for you my advice. Of course, it's not accepting her as it is. Oh, she is hitting me, she is beating me, she is making, and I accept it. It's not about this. It's accepting why you are there. This is the point. Acceptance is why you are there, the truth of why you are there. This is what you need to accept, to see. The reason why you go there and you engage in this behavior. This is the acceptance work you have to do. Another question. It's a time in my life in which I see terrible personalities inside myself, negative thoughts, negative emotions, I can see them, but I don't know what to do. And this is very good question from a participant, that this actually in this path, a spiritual path, in which these negative patterns and these rejections, they go to the surface. And the answer for this, if you are naturally awakening the rejection, you need to observe it in peace. You need to detach, because it's very good, because this person is saying, okay, I can see it's a personality that is going out, that is angry, that is negative, that is complaining, but it's not me. In this point, you are already in the process of accepting, because you are, then the rejection is going out. This personality is full of rejection, rejects things, reject life, reject positivity, reject yourself, but this rejection is going out. You are observing it, and you are so awake that you can see that this is not you, that this is a personality. So actually there is nothing there to do but to be open to observe this process and to understand how the rejection goes out to our consciousness and slowly dissolves and becomes nothing. So this is a very good indicator. When we have, of course, it's not about allowing ourselves to fall into this negative personality and to become fully this negative personality, to observe it, to allow it, to acknowledge it. Oh, look, I have this side in my mind, in my psyche, who is all the time complaining and all the time looking, seeing the negative in everything. then you need to acknowledge, oh, I have this side, and you accept it. I have it. I created in some moment in my life, and for the moment it's inside myself. I accept it, I observe it, but I don't identify with it. I'm not this. It will come and it will go. Like this, the process of acceptance happens like this, 100%. It's like this. When the negative and what we reject goes to the surface. And the last question, I have a story. I have a strong fear to be myself. Like, I feel that if I'm going to be myself, something terrible will happen, someone will reject me, and I will be punished somehow. We all have this deep fear in us that is connected with when our divine spontaneity is cut when we are kids, because we are told what to do, what to say, how to dress, how to act, how to eat, and we are told everything. So this divine spontaneity, which is I expressing the truth and the uniqueness of our being, is cut. And there is a moment in which we may connect with this fear, that is, if I am authentic and I am myself, I'm going to be killed. It's not even rejected, I'm going to be killed. I'm going to be taken out from society, from the tribe, and I'm going to die. All this, this is the work of the acceptance that we need to do. It's slowly, of course, this doesn't happen overnight. This to realize that the question already shows a very big awareness of the process of rejection. And all this rejection, this question shows very well that all this rejection, they start originally in the past with our environment, our family, what they tell us, how they educate us. But all this rejection, punishment, becomes crystallized in our consciousness, become conditioning in our being, in our mind. And after our family environment and we grow up, we get independent, we live alone, even we are disconnected from this environment at all, but this conditioning is still happening in us. This self-rejection and self-judgment is with us. So the answer for this question, or this person is sharing, of course, what we need is, what you need is to start becoming more and more aware of all this process, and when this process manifests in your life, in which moment, when you want to do what thing, what kind of action, what kind of expression, what are the things that you want to say, what are the things that you want to do, what are the things that you would like to experience, that you cannot, because you stop them inside, you cut them out of fear. The first practice you could do, for example, is to write down in one column all the things that you would like to do, our experience in life, what you would like to say. For example, today I was at work, I was in a meeting, and I wanted to say this, that the best way is to operate using this software, let's say, but I didn't do it. Then you can write down what you wanted to do, and you can write down and make a process of self-inquiry meditation. What was the fear connected with this? What was the fear? I was afraid this person, maybe this guy who is very confident, would tell me no in the middle of all the place, and they would make fun of me, and then I would feel terrible and ashamed and all this. To create consciousness, to create awareness about how this process is developing within yourself. This is what will help you to, first is to create awareness. It will help you to understand better the process, and later the second step is that slowly, gradually, you need to start pushing, really pushing as much as you can, to start doing little by little, to take small actions that they trigger this fear, that they will take you to experience this fear, really, to feel it. If you feel that you are afraid to say something in these meetings, to force yourself as a practice, okay, but I will say today, I will say something. I will say what I think for this specifically, and you put this intention, and through you breaking this mental barrier, you will discover that even though if you later experience a bit of emotional turmoil, this emotional turmoil you will experience, it won't kill you, it won't hurt you at all, and actually this is the process that it will help you to integrate all this rejection. It will help you to heal yourself. The process of you acting out of the individuality, it will reveal, it will take fully out all these emotions that they are hidden there, emotions from the past, from all the punishment that we received from the parents, from the family, the rejection. So it is very important that if there are things that you want to do, that your individuality, your being wants to do, small things can be alone, maybe go for a trip alone, or go for a walk alone, or talk with a stranger. You need to write it down, something that you want, not something irrelevant, something that you really want, and to start taking action in this direction. This is a spiritual path. It will take you to heal. It will take you to process things, emotions, but it will take you to heal too. And remember that you are not alone in this process. We are here to talk, to walk together, to meditate together, to heal together. So if you need any help or support, you can call us, write us, and we can work together, and you will feel, with this process, you will feel better. And you will realize that this idea that if I am myself, I'm going to be killed, the idea will die. You won't die, but this idea will die, and you will be free. Very good, guys. This was everything. There was no many comments today, but I will post the video in YouTube. I will post it here in Instagram. And if you have comments or you want to share something, you can write me and we can talk. And remember, we are all the time organizing very powerful rituals and very powerful events. And these setups, the acceptance is happening organically, naturally. You can bring there your problems, your conflicts, what is difficult for you to swallow, to accept. You will have amazing experiences, you by yourself. Plus, if you really want to have the full experience, you can come to our next retreat. In the retreats we have, of course, we go deeper because we are 4 or 5 days working. We are doing special practices to raise the vitality. We do all the retreats in nature, we do hikes, we swim in the rivers, and we raise very much our vitality, and we go to very deep meditations. These retreats, they have very strong transformation. They will have a very strong transformation in you. Our next retreat will happen in August, 22nd to 27. We go to Poland, to the south, to the border with Slovakia, to a very beautiful natural park in Jaworki. There are mountains, amazing forest, river. We are going to do many activities in nature, practices, and we are going to have teachings like we had in this seminar, and there will be one-to-one attention too. We will answer all your questions. We have very nice diet, vegetarian, to clean the body too. And it will be the perfect setup for you to understand in your bones, in your experience, what it means to allow the things to go out, to confront them, and to have the real energy and the power of responsibility to integrate them. And the best of the best is what happens later. Once you integrate and you apply the acceptance, you fully accept what you were rejecting, the problem, the fear, you forgive, you let go, you gain peace, you gain clarity, you gain stability, you gain creative mind, you understand many things, you have realizations, you understand your truth, the truth of where you want to go, the truth of your past too, the truth of what you need to work with in your life to become free, the truth about how your mind tricks you, the truth about how to direct your spiritual path, how to direct your energy, how to work with your body, how to work with your emotion. All these miracles are happening after this process of acceptance. And if you come to this Jaworki, you will experience in yourself, which is the best, actually. You will have the experience in your being, and with this you will know how this works fully. I hope you get this something positive from all this. I'm very happy I shared this with you, my truth, and feel very good. And I hope to see you soon in the next retreat or in the next event, the next live. Write if you need something, if you want something, and if you want to help us, or not to help us, to help people to discover this content, give a like, put a comment, because it will spread, and some people that they may need it very much, they may receive this knowledge and start working with themselves, and this will be amazing. See you soon. Bye bye.